What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Mile High Misfits. So today is a super exciting day and we are finally going to start tuning the C5 Corvette. I just got an email back from Michigan Motorsports and they sent me over the base tune that I'm going to use to kind of get some idle data logs for this car. So over here we have the HP tuners already up on the computer. We've got the MPVI3 and I showed you guys in the last video how to hook up the ProLink Plus. So that's all good to go. So let's start data logging. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. All right, so I have the tune all saved to the computer now. Now it's time to open up the VCM editor and then hook everything up to the car and then flash the tune onto the car. So just like we did in the last video, I'm gonna hook this up to the OBD2 port and then I'm gonna hook these two wires right here back up to the AFR gauge. So we'll do that now. All right, now we just want to hook up the USB to our computer. And if you don't have an AFR gauge, you might just be hooking up the MPVI3 to your laptop, and that's all you have to do. But for this tune, I really want it to be as accurate as possible, so I hooked up my AFR gauge, hooked that up to the computer, so that's going to give the tuner a lot more data to work with. So now at this point, we can turn on the car, but don't start the engine. So there we go, and then now we're going to come over here and make sure that when you look at your file, it ends in HPT. So it's going to show up like this with this little wrench here, and then it's going to have HPT file. Sometimes over email, it will just get rid of that .hpt and it will just save it as a file. You can't open that in the editor, so you'll have to fix that and rename it. It's super simple. Just fix the name, just type in .hpt at the end, and that should do it. So now you're going to come over here to the VCM editor, and then you're going to go to File and then Open. And then now you have, right here is our 1999 Corvette M6 BTR Stage 3 tune. So we're going to open up that. Now we can come over here to Write Vehicle. And then now we need to license the file and the vehicle. So we're going to show our options. So now this is going to come up. It says you do not have a license to perform the current action. So now basically we have to use our 2 credits for this. So this is for this VIN. Double check all this, make sure that all this is correct. And then you will say specific. So I'm licensing this specific vehicle with 2 credits. And there you go. That's all you have to do. Are you sure this action cannot be undone? Just say yes. And now you're good to go. Now you can write the file to the ECM. And it's going to take a few minutes to finish because this is a pretty time-consuming process. But once it's done, it says write completed. You just close it here, and you're all good to go. So now you can shut off the car. It's all good to go. And now, at this point, what we're going to want to do is we want to come into the VCM scanner. We're going to want to connect to the vehicle, all that, and then we're going to run a data log to send that back to the tuner. The tuner just wants me to do kind of a 5 to 10 minute data log of it just getting up to temperature and idling. You guys can hear that it sounds a lot better than it was sounding before. And now we're getting much better AFRs than we were before. We were getting AFRs of like 17 to 18 before, and now it's still a little lean, but it's much closer to stoic than we were before. And then we also don't have the check engine light anymore. He tuned out the rear O2 sensors, so that's good. And now at this point, we're just gonna click this button here to start recording once we're ready to start data logging. We have the AFR right there, so that's gonna be set to read. So yeah, once it starts getting a little bit warmer, I'm just going to start that data log and log it until it gets to about 190 degrees is what he wanted, and then we'll send that over to him. Well, all of a sudden the car is running lean as hell. I have no idea why. But now it's starting to run like crap. So I'm not really sure what to say about that. That is terrible. Well, looks like we have another problem to hunt down. All right, well, that is day one for data logging and tuning the car. I just sent that log back over to the tuner, and I told him that, you know, in the beginning it was running great. It was right about at stoic, but then once it started warming up a bit, it went super, super lean. I mean, we were talking, you know, 17 to 20, even 21 AFRs, which is just super, super lean, really not good. Doesn't seem like there's any other issues with the car. I mean, it seems like it's running decently well, just very, very lean. So I don't think that it's something wrong with the tune. This guy, you know, knows what he's doing. I'm sure that he has tuned plenty of these and kind of knows where to get it around as far as fuel goes. So yeah, it looks like before we do the next log and before we do the next tune, I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of diagnosis to see what exactly is wrong with the car. I don't know why something's wrong because, you know, before all this, everything was totally fine. The fuel system was bulletproof and didn't have any issues before. And I haven't touched anything in that system. So could be a bad O2 sensor. It also could be that maybe the AFR is reading inaccurately for some reason. I don't know. So that's going to be something that hopefully the tuner can kind of reach back out and give me some pointers, give me some ideas of possibly what it could be. Right now, I'm thinking either O2 sensors or AFRs are just incorrect. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted though.
Many, many unbearable moments later.
Okay guys, it's been a couple days since that last clip. I did a lot of diagnosis on this car and it actually ended up taking a couple days to figure out what was going on. So originally I was like, okay, maybe it's a fuel issue. The tuner reached back out and he said that the O2 sensors were reading that the car was running rich, and then the AFR gauge was saying that it was running lean. So obviously conflicting data there, was not looking good. So what I ended up doing is I went through the wiring for the AFR gauge. I double checked all my wiring, double checked my grounds, all that stuff. I read all the voltages coming from the analog wire there. Everything looked great. So then I was like, well, maybe it's just a bad sensor. Some of these AEM sensors are a little cheap. So I ended up actually replacing the sensor, swapping it out with a known good one, and that didn't change a single thing. So ruled that out. And then after that, I was like, okay, well, maybe it's the O2 sensors themselves, because if we keep getting the exact same reading and all the voltages look good, then maybe the car is actually truly running lean. So I ended up just basically getting under the car, checking the wiring to the O2 sensors. The only thing that I changed when I was installing my headers was the O2 sensor extension harnesses. And those were from Amazon. So they were a little bit cheaper. I was like, you know what? Maybe that could be the problem. Here's the old O2 sensors. It actually was not the harnesses. It ended up being the O2 sensors were actually bad. So I swapped out the harnesses anyways, just in case. But then I also swapped out the O2 sensors with some Bosch ones I picked up at Advanced Auto Parts. I really didn't fully diagnose it as the O2 sensors until I swapped them. I kind of wanted to do a little bit more diag so I wouldn't throw away $200. But you know, every time that I unplugged them from the car, it started running a little bit better. In open loop, it actually ran 14.5 to 15.5 is kind of where it was running at in open loop. And then once it connected to the O2 sensors and they warmed up, it would go into closed loop. And that's when things started running like absolute crap. It started running like 18, 19, then 20 AFRs. The car was just misfiring like crazy. So super not good. But yeah, it ended up just being the O2 sensors, thankfully. So now I just got a tune back from the tuner. I sent him some data logs after doing all of that. And the car's running a lot better. It still is misfiring a little bit. So it doesn't have that, you know, consistent lope to it. It kind of sounds a little bit more burbly right now because it's missing. So what I'm going to do before the next data log set, I'm going to pull my spark plugs out, just check them over, because since I was running so lean, it could have fouled out the plugs. So I'm going to check those out, see if they look crappy at all, clean them up a little bit. I'm also going to spray down my MAF sensor. I got some of this mass airflow sensor cleaner here. So I'm just going to spray that out, make sure that's nice and clean. And then I'm going to upload the new tune that he sent and then do some data logs. This one is going to be driving around. So just a little cruise, probably keeping it low RPMs for this one. And then I will send over the data log. So we're back on track. We took a little bit of a couple-day detour here. As you guys can see, I also got my new shop lights set up in the meantime. So lots more light in here, but we are finally ready to get back into it and get this car running as good as possible. Okay, so I pulled the plug out of cylinder 1 and it looked fine. It had a little bit of buildup on it, but basically what I did is I just got this wire brush here, kind of brushed it off, got a little piece of sandpaper and kind of just, lightly got some of that corrosion off. I checked the gap again, and then I also got some brake clean. I sprayed it down with some brake clean, so now I'm just letting it dry, and then it's ready to be reinstalled. So now that the spark plugs are back in place, I'm going to use a little bit of this dielectric grease on the boots for my wires, just that way things slide on properly and it seals all the water and dirt and all that kind of stuff out. I'm going to make sure to clean all of the spark plugs and clean out the conductive points in the coil packs, just that way we make sure we have a really good connection. I really don't want anything causing misfires on this, but I'm going to reinstall these boots, and then I'm going to move on to the other side, and then we should be good to start uploading the new tune. All right, all the spark plugs are back in along with the wires. I also got the MAF back in, and it's all clean and ready to go. So now at this point, it's time to open up the laptop, install the new tune, and then we can start data logging. Okay, so now that we have a full tank, I'm going to drive around for a little bit and data log this. I wanted to do the idle tune or the idle log first, just that way you can see how it's idling. But yeah, now let's go take it for a rip. All right, guys, that concludes day 2 of tuning the Corvette. I got those data logs sent over to Zach at Michigan Motorsports, and so he's going to send me another tune, hopefully either tomorrow or the day after. So things are rolling. This went much better than day 1, obviously. The car sounds a lot better, feels a lot better. I did a couple light pulls, as you guys saw, and yeah, it feels really, really good. So I'm super excited. the HP Tuners MPVI 3 has been great, and the ProLink Plus has proven to be invaluable. So yeah, I'm really happy with this setup. This is actually my first time using HP Tuners. I cannot wait to get this thing on the road and doing some wide open throttle pulls. It's gonna be so much fun, so stay tuned, guys. Okay, so it's a couple days later now, and I just got what should be the final tune for this car. I'm gonna do a little bit driving around, and I'm gonna do some wide open throttle pulls, and hopefully after I send that data log to the tuner, he just gives me the green light. He might have to make a couple small adjustments after that, but we'll see. So we're gonna upload that real quick, and then we'll take it for a rip. What a drive that was, guys. It was so awesome getting to go wide open throttle in this car. I haven't been wide open throttle in this car since probably April, so it's been a minute. It felt amazing. It sounds so good, and the car drives so smooth. So I just sent that data log over to the tuner, and hopefully he gives me the green light. But guys, I am so stoked. This has been an incredible experience. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I also put the 20mm spacers on the rear of the car. It looks so much better than the 1.25 inch. It's like flush now with the quarter panel. So I can lower the car a little bit more if I want to. My driveway does have kind of a steep drop off at the end, so I might not, but I at least want to lower the front just a smidge more because it's got a few fingers in there. So, but besides that, it's Friday night. So I'm not going to be able to get another tune before Monday probably. So this is going to be the end of this video. If I do have to end up doing another tune, it'll probably be very, very minimal changes. But I'll keep you guys posted in the next video if I have to change anything else. But that does it for this week, guys. If you enjoyed the content for today, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for future content. I'll catch you guys next week. Later.